adopt an active lifestyle, not a sedentary lifestyle. And many of us have a sedentary job. You're working on your laptops, you're working in your seat, but make sure you take a lifestyle that involves physical activity as well. Could be as simple as walking. If you remember in Tawaf, in the first 3 rounds, it's called Rommel, the men are expected to expose their right shoulder and right biceps and walk fast. What is that? Isn't that a sign of strength? Now, why did the Prophet ﷺ ask us to do that Rommel? The idea is, when the Prophet ﷺ was performing Umrah, the Mushrikeen, the Quraysh at that time, the non-Muslims, they were making fun of the Muslims who were doing Tawaf. They were saying, look at these weaklings, look at these weak people. So the Prophet ﷺ commanded us for the men to walk fast, to show strength, physical strength, and expose the right shoulder to demonstrate strength and vitality. It is there in Bukhari and Muslim both. And that is why we do Rommel. But if you are not fit physically, how can you do that? Again in Sa'i, when you're doing those 7 rounds between Safa and Marwa, then back from Marwa to Safa and so on, 7 times, there is a green zone between those 2 green lights when men are expected to do what? Walk fast or run. If you are not physically fit, how will you do that? Now, the learning that I want to give you is, as I said, it could be as simple as eating healthy and walking, doing lots of walk. Pick up a sport. Be physically active. Look at the example of the Prophet ﷺ when he was fighting in battles. He was in his 50s. The Prophet ﷺ was 53 when he moved to Medina. Badr happened a year later. The Muslims were ready, they were physically fit. There were times when he didn't have enough to eat. We all know the story. What do we take from there? 2 things. Eat healthy. Don't overeat. Eat healthy and be physically fit. It's a requirement. Because if you're physically fit, you will just be of better service and more service to the deen. The third point, which just hits you the moment you land there. Let's say you are praying in Haram. The time for Salah is called, Adhan is called, Iqamah is called, people just line up. I don't know who is praying on my right, I don't know who is praying on my left. I have no clue, I've never seen them in my life. And yet we are one unit. We are one brotherhood, we are one Ummah. That is the best example of unity. And of course, in the masjid as well, you see people from different nationalities, different languages, different tribes, different races in the masjid. Multiply this by a few thousand and that is what you get in Makkah. Right? It brings home the point that we are really one Ummah. We should stop dividing ourselves. And that, because of these divisions, this is what the enemies of Islam have taken advantage of. Who is to be blamed? Us.